Final episode of Coaches Connections, Packer style. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar, and final Coaches Connection episode. We got Mike Smith, linebackers coach, Mike Pettine, our Coaches Connection, and also Ed Donatil. Might have been in like 2000, but he was a Packers defense coordinator.
Bunch of damn Mikes and an Ed. Yes, it's a sad day. It's our final episode of Coaches Connection, and what a series it's been. What a ride it's been.
Yes, we are looking at the Packers free agents, seeing if some of these guys might be a little tempted to bring them over with them to the Vikings. Went with, like, again, as always, some realistic options that kind of fill some needs. So let us know in the comments. What do you think if you want any of these guys?
A lot of these guys are on the level of Nick Vigil when the Vikings signed him last year, and that's really realistically what we should be expecting with a lot of these signings we make in the free agency period here. So before we do, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the vids. We are so close to 6,000 subscribers. I can smell it. It smells like Onebar's bottom.
Oh, it smells like nice talcum powder. Let us get to 6,000 so we can stop talking about it. You're sick of hearing it. Let's do this. Let's get to 6K, baby. Oh. And speaking of Nick Vigil, remember like that first half he played in week 1? We're like, holy shit, this guy is going to be the next Scott Studwell.
He wasn't. He had a good game against the Cardinals too a week later, but after that, not great.
Oh, Nick, great. Well worth the signing though. Let's start off with a clear need. I think we've done one of these positions for every Coaches Connection we've done. Let's go to the offensive line. Start with Lucas Patrick, the guard/center for the Packers.
Yeah, the Vikings have to improve the interior of their O-line. We don't know what Wyatt Davis is going to bring to the table, but we do know what we have in Garrett Bradbury, and it is pure ass. He needs to be a backup. I doubt they just flat out cut him. There's no real savings there. He's still in his rookie contract, but you got to find a starter, and maybe you look to your damned hated rivals to find Lucas Patrick.
Yeah, I mean, I look at this more as if they can't bring back Mason Cole, Lucas Patrick is kind of like exactly like Mason Cole. He can play both positions. He plays them decent. He's not overly fantastic, but he's not a liability either. He started 33 games over the last couple of years. Good depth piece, 1 sack, 5 penalties last year. I'd be all for it, but only if Mason Cole ain't coming back.
Yeah, and who knows what's going to happen with Mason Cole. He could have a huge hot market for him. We don't know what's going to happen there. But let's go to really, I think, one of the most Nick Vigil-esque players on this list. Same position. It's a linebacker, Orrin Burks, a guy I think they took in like round 4 a couple of years back. He hasn't really done a whole hell of a lot. He's had 7 career starts, 92 total tackles, but he's a guy who's been in the system, good special teamer guy, and guy he's one of these guys that the coaches know, and maybe the coaches like maybe he's got a good work ethic, something like that. So I could see the Vikings going out, find a cheap option, a familiar option for this defense.
Yeah, and the fact that the coaches do know Orrin Burks might mean that they have absolutely zero interest.
It could be the flip side of it. Absolutely.
Look at Orrin Burks. This is what, like, doing my very brief research on Orrin Burks and Packers fans and Packers, it sounds like they just want this guy out of there, gone. They've drafted many guys to try to replace him. Burks is a guy that just needs a fresh start. He couldn't get out on the field. They didn't want him out on the field. He played special teams, but he's still young, needs a fresh start. That depth piece, why not?
Hey, they tried to get rid of him, but he kept sticking around. He's like, what's his name?
But can you think of anything better out of some of these guys we're talking about? Taking a Packer that really didn't pan out well, and all of a sudden he comes to Minnesota and he's flourishing. What a story.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. He reminds me
Oren
of
Burks, filmed by Disney.
Maybe he's the next Kentrell Brothers.
I don't know where he is. I don't think he's playing these days. All right, what else we got?
Let's go to another guy who's not going to light anybody's socks off. Knock anybody's socks off. Anyway, I think it's made up a phrase there. Defensive end, Tyler Lancaster, a guy, he's kind of a part-time player with the Packers, but when he comes out there, he does produce. He's an experienced 5-tech, and the Vikings, when they go to the 3-4 fronts, need somebody who's played that role. And you got to find depth as well, because not everybody on this roster is going to be able to flourish in both fronts. So when they go to that 3-4 look, they might want to have an end who knows what he's doing out there. And Tyler Lancaster wouldn't be an expensive option, and a guy who could fit that role.
Wasn't that a last name on Game of Thrones, Lancaster?
Lancaster.
Oh, damn it. All right. Well, the only reason I want Tyler Lancaster is maybe he's like a really good coach on the field. Maybe he's one of those smart guys that helps with the scheme, helps these younger guys, because when you look at what he's done, it's pretty Oren Burks-esque. But again, depth piece. It's going to be interesting how some of these guys we drafted, the Patrick Jones, Janarius Robinson, if they fit this scheme, if not. So we can't just look at the depth chart and say, hey, we got these guys. Here we got Tyler Lancaster, and he'll be one of those guys that flourish.
Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. Who knows?
All right, we got two more. Defense. Let's go with the sexy name, former Minnesota Gopher, Devondre Campbell. This guy didn't get signed till like June. The Packers got a gift. He just rips shit up, makes a ton of money. He's going to make a ton of money, and the Packers would be crazy not to bring him back. But as of now, he is a free agent.
Yeah, it sounds like they were close to an extension last week, but I don't think anything ever really happened there. But you look at what he did last year. I mean, they signed him basically off the street, 146 tackles. He had 6 for a loss. This guy is just a beast, and I don't know if he was just motivated, what it was. But, man, he's bounced around before that. He was in Atlanta. He played a year in Arizona. Now he's come to Green Bay. Again, I'd be surprised if the Packers let him go. But, man, could you imagine him coming back to Minnesota and just playing next to Eric Kendricks? Woo!
Yeah, he was a hot name coming out of the draft. I'm going to put it on the Falcons, just didn't know how to use him. Green Bay took him in, and he just ripped shit up. But, yeah, him next to Eric Kendricks, holy hell, that would be beautiful. Former Gopher, too.
Parts are tingling, parts are swelling up. It would be very, very exciting.
All right, let's go to the last one. This one is just the most question marks how this even happened, and it's Rasul Douglas.
Yeah, and it's hard to know what his value is going to be. The Packers basically, again, another guy they basically signed off the street. I think it was mid-season last year. He ended up being basically their best cornerback, 57 tackles, 13 pass breakups, 5 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. This guy could be in for a giant payday, or he could maybe they look at his past history and be like, what the hell happened here? We're only going to offer you this. I don't know what kind of market he's going to have, but, man, you think he comes to Minnesota, you got to assume he's an instant starter.
Oh, yeah, I would hope so. It's still only 26 years old. The weirdest part is the dude was cut twice in training camp last year by Las Vegas and Houston. Then he goes to the Cardinals, right? Cardinals practice squad. I mean, how does he not? It's so weird. So he could be a guy that maybe isn't getting what he's hoping for, because people are just a little concerned.
Yeah, there has to be something to why was he cut? Why was he moved around so much? But he literally had his own Disney story last year. You keep mentioning that. I mean, what he went through to where he ended up is damn inspiring. And, it makes you – I'm definitely have a ton of interest in this guy. Doesn't he have great size, too? I think he's well over 6 foot, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he just got everything going for him. And he was a former 3rd-round pick by the Eagles. So there was intrigue when he was drafted. Who knows? We got a lot of Disney movies going on here. But I see Rasul Douglas as the sword in the stone type movie.
It's a solid movie.
Not as good as I remember.
Yeah, I liked it a lot when I was a kid, but yeah, you're right. I went back and watched it again. I was like, it's being way better.
Yeah, so those are our 5 Packers that could possibly follow their coaches over to the Minnesota Vikings. Let us know in the comments what you think, and we're gonna talk some draft this week. Let's talk some damn draft.
Yeah, we got some draft. We got one more free agent video up our sleeve for sure. I can tell you what that is, but it is going to be damn good. It's going to be damn good. But remember this, guys, while you're waiting for our draft talk and our free agent video that's coming up, remember this. Without the moon, a day on Earth would only be 6 to 12 hours long.